Good morning, Bande Matram. This morning we are going to discuss on there is no disturbance in the depths of the ocean. The meaning is very clear. Eventually, we will know what really Sri Aurobindo wants to say. Because with this familiar aphorism, you are almost familiar. I mean, you know this aphorism. This is from Sri Aurobindo's 277. There is no disturbance in the depths of the ocean, but above there is a joyous thunder of its shouting and its racing shorewards. So, most of the time we get confused, we get threatened rather, seeing the turbulency, tempest on the shore. But thing is, that's Europe in the quotes. This is a joyous thunder of its shouting, joyous thunder of the shouting. So we need not be confused. And it's racing shoreward. So it is. So is it with the liberated soul in the midst of violent action. Just a beautiful comparison, like shore and depth of the ocean. Here also, Sri Aurobindo compares it with show it with the liberated soul in the midst of violent action. Action is violent, as we have seen the thunder in the shore. So the soul does not act; it only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. So it is in the course. The soul does not act; it only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. Just imagine, go deep within as you find the inordinate condition of the very much no disturbance. You can find no disturbance in the depths of the ocean. Like this, go deep into your soul, inside, into your being. You will find the soul does not act; it only breathes out from itself overwhelming action. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully. All speech and action comes prepared out of eternal silence. A great thing, great, really great. All speech and action comes prepared out of eternal silence. Thing is that this speech and action, they are not ordinary speech or ordinary action. It is of course related to eternity, as it is coming prepared out of eternal silence. Sri Aurobindo quotes again, the theosophists are wrong in their circumstances. The theosophists are wrong in their circumstances, but right in their essential. Very interesting. And the top one you can remember, it is really, even though we don't be able to understand really the hidden meaning, inner meaning, but it carries a lot of things, it speaks a lot. Sri Aurobindo quotes, the theosophists are wrong in their circumstances, but right in the essential. If the French Revolution took place, it was because the soul of the Indian snows, because a soul in the Indian snows dreamed of gods as a freedom, brotherhood, and of course equality. This is a great thing. It has been Sri Aurobindo. It really, for every Indian, it is the time of boasting really. So, Sri Aurobindo quotes that already we know from the outward historical writings that French Revolution, it brought freedom, brotherhood, and of course equality. But Sri Aurobindo quotes this is coming from from an Indian. French Revolution took place because if the French Revolution took place, it was because a soul on the Indian snows, a soul in the Indian snows dreamed of God as a freedom, brotherhood, and equality. For that only this French Revolution took place, and the whole meaning, the freedom, brotherhood, and equality, what has been established out of this French Revolution, it is for the Indian soul who dreamed from the Indian snows. Dreamed of God as freedom, brotherhood, and equality. Again, we can go. This is really 275. So again, we are going for a little bit ahead. That which is liberated, that which the liberated seeds in the soul on the mountain tops, heroes and prophets spring up in the material world to proclaim and accomplish. Just it is another good aphorism we have ever seen. Sri Aurobindo quotes that which the liberated sees, liberated, not the ordinary soul. Sri Aurobindo quotes, liberated sees in his soul, that which the liberated soul sees in his soul on its mountain tops, sees sees in his soul on the mountain tops, heroes and prophets spring up in their material world to proclaim and accomplish. Because it is not that the heroes and the prophets, of course, they achieve, but thing is that everything is that liberated sees in the soul, that is on the mountain top, that is accomplished and achieved, accomplished and proclaimed by heroes and prophets. Here in the quotes again, thou thinkst the ascetic in his cave or on his mountain top a stone. So just imagine here in the quotes, very interesting way. Thou thinkst the ascetic in his cave or in his mountain top a stone and do nothing. You know, they are living on the top, they are doing nothing, they are living simply on the mountain top. So what dost you know? During the questions, he may be filling the world with the mighty currents of his will and changing it by the pressure of his soul state. So think that you feel they are doing nothing, simply sitting away from the life. They have actually they gone out of the escapist attitude. So many ways we think. Just they have actually they have faced to the opposite side of this mankind society. But things here in the quotes in other way. Thou thinkst that ascetics in his cave on the mountain tops a stone and do nothing. But what dost thou do know? He may be filling the world with the mighty currents of his will. He may be filling the world with mighty currents of his will and changing it by the presence of his soul state. Just imagine, this is the role. That's what they are doing. You can't deny their asceticism, their tapasya, because they are doing a lot of things, filling the gap. That is the great thing they are doing. Against Aurobindo quotes nicely, there are times when God seems to be sternly on the side of the past. Sometimes, present, past, and future. We have divided the time into three parts. We have seen past, future, and present. Future is unknown, unseen. We can't see in our glance, and the past is already lost. It is never to return. And on the present, we are standing. With this future being present, it glides into the past. So here in the course, sometimes we feel, we see, there are times when God seems to be sternly on the side of the past. Then what has been and is, sits firm on a throne and clothes itself with the irrevocable. I shall be. I shall be. Then persevere through thou seem to be fighting the master of all. For this is his sharpest trial. That's what is done. Most of the time we confuse. We don't know what really is going on, what is happening here in the course. There are times when God seems to be sternly on the side of the past. Then what has been and is really, that is the question. Sits firm on the throne and clothes itself with the irrevocable I shall be. Then persevere. What is your role? You do one thing, then persevere. Though thou seem to be fighting the master of all, seem to be fighting the master of all, for this is his sharpest trial. Again, we can find another good aphorism from Sri Aurobindo, that is a nicely fabricated. That is, all is not settled when the cause is humanly lost and hopeless. It is not lost at all. So many things are there. Long way to go. All is not settled when a cause is humanly lost and hopeless. All is settled only when the soul renounces its effort. So just imagine, don't get confused, don't break up Don't break your head, because you know Sri Aurobindo quotes, all is not settled, not settled and settled. All is not settled, and when the cause is humanly lost and hopeless, then how it is lost? How it is not settled? All is settled only when the soul renounces its effort. All only soul renounces its effort, then all is settled. Unless